Hello, today we're going to be looking at Swamp Thing number 88, written by Rick Veitch, with artwork by Michael Zueli and Vince Locke. So the story goes, one of the greatest Swamp Thing stories never told in the most famous unpublished DC comic of all time. Rick Veitch conclusion to his epic time travel story that was in 2 years in the making was cut short when this first issue was written and penciled, but not actually released. DC killed it mostly because of the cover that Rick did, which had Swamp Thing's head on the cross of Christ. So this story was just never told, because so Swamp Thing is cast back through time and comes to meet a carpenter who will change the trajectory of his life and the DC universe forever. So that's kind of, that's the basic story. Of course, in '89, everybody saw the cover and freaked out. It was just, and yet the irony is when you read this issue, it really is not, I mean, yes, it deals with the carpenter, but it really isn't about, anything blasphemous or anything. It just happens that Swamp Thing kind of runs into him through, while he's traveling through time. And I think the interesting thing is how it's going to change him in the story, in the next 3 issues that will finish off the original story. The other great thing about this is there's a couple things. One, they put it on newsprint type paper, which would have been the type of paper back in '89 that Swamp Thing would have been published on. It also has all the ads. I wouldn't say they're original ads. They're all DC ads, but like the back cover has the Batman '89 poster on it. But the really interesting thing is Stephen Bissette does a kind of an afterwards, really explaining like what the period of '89 was like, why, it caused such an uproar, and it really gives kind of perspective on what happened and why it was never published. The other thing that's kind of really sad is that Michael Zueli has passed away, and he was originally going to do all 4 issues of it, but since he's passed, they were able to take his Xeroxes of his pencil work, and Vince Locke was able to ink them for this. Now, Tom Mandrake is going to finish the other 3 issues when they do come out. So I looked forward to this. It met all my expectations and actually exceeded them. So I loved it. What did you think? Did I miss anything in my review? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.